Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to your slow Vinyasa flow. Today in this practice, we will not only move and stretch the body, but we will calm the mind. We will take this opportunity on the mat to listen to our soul. We will take this opportunity to listen to our heart. We're going to slow down our busy mind. Let's bring our hands onto our lap and sitting up nice and tall. Relaxing your shoulders, let's start with the breath. Taking a deep breath in, and then exhale. Now I just want you to breathe any way that feels good. Just be calm. Don't focus too much on anything. Just close your eyes and just listen. Listen as your breath and the air comes into your body naturally. Let it flow naturally and don't think too much about it. Take this opportunity to slow down your thoughts. Tell yourself that you're taking this time out for you, letting everything else go. We're going to start our practice with 3 ohms. This can seem silly in the beginning, but I want you all to try, even if you're not comfortable doing it. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to take a deep breath in, 3 ohms, and go. Deep breath in. Slowly open your beautiful eyes. Bring your toes and heels together. Hands holding onto your feet, sitting up nice and tall in your Baddha Konasana. Bring your chest forward. Just do a little flutter with your knees. Bring your chest forward, your heart forward. Push your knees down towards the mat. And then sitting up nice and tall, take your left hand, reach it behind you for a little twist, looking over your left shoulder. And then take your right hand and reach it towards the ceiling or the sky as you twist. Dropping the right hand down and switching sides. So taking the right hand to the back, sitting up nice and tall, looking back for a twist. And then left hand goes all the way up to the sky, still bringing your chest forward. And then come back to center. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe scoot your bottom back just a little bit. And take opposite hand to knee. So taking your left hand to your right knee and your right hand to your left. And we're crossing our arms like this. Then we're going to bend our body forward, dropping the head, and then sitting up nice and tall. So it's almost like we're doing some cat-cows with the spine in this position. Roll the spine, And then chest up nice and tall. Good. And then switch sides. So bringing the arms out, cross the opposite arm over, bringing those shoulders in as we roll forward. And then coming up, rolling forward, and coming up. Bring your hands behind you and scoot yourself back into your seated forward fold. Just taking a moment, bending your knees as you bring yourself forward, your belly forward, always making sure you have a flat back. Or you could always bring your hands behind your back and then push yourself forward. Let your toes go to the sky. Bring your arms all the way up to the ceiling for a stretch. Then lower your hands down. Bring your left foot in to your right upper thigh. And try to keep your hips square as much as possible here. We're gonna go right into a side stretch, leaning over towards the right side to start. Then over to the other side. Trying to keep your hips on the mat. And then come all the way up to center. Bring your arms all the way up. And then reaching for your right toes or your knee or your calf. You take your left hand and wrap it around the outside of your foot to try to keep your hips more square. And on your exhale, feel your body melt closer to your leg. Letting your body relax. Maybe closing your eyes at any time that it feels good. And then slowly making your way up and switching sides. So extending the left leg, bringing the right foot in, sitting up nice and tall, and then reaching over towards the left side. I hear little cracks in your joints and muscles, totally normal. And then over to the other side. Back up to center, bringing both arms all the way up. And then reaching forward towards your left foot, grabbing your shin, your knee, your calf, wherever you are at, and then dropping yourself forward. Really nice hip and hamstring stretch. Find that sweet spot where you can relax into this pose. Really deepen the stretch. Good, and slowly making your way up. Bring your feet to center, little windshield wiper, side to side. 90-90. Good, let your right knee fall over. Bring that leg in and go right into a half split. Your front knee bent. Bring your hands forward. Come up on your toes so you could lift that back knee up. And just lift up. Good, and rolling back onto your hip. Come back into your 90-90 or windshield wiper, and then dropping the opposite knee down, extending the leg, bringing you could come into like a pigeon, or you could tuck your knee or your foot and ankle in. And we're just lifting up. Relaxing your shoulders. Good. Coming back to center. We're going to open our knees nice and wide. So bring your knees nice and wide, look back, have your toes to touch, and sitting down onto your heels, and then bringing yourself forward. This is our wide-legged child's pose. Bring your fingertips up so that your elbows are up, and then just relaxing here for a moment, feeling yourself be heavier on your mat, maybe dropping your forehead down. Reaching forward as you feel your hips heavier and heavier. And then walk your way up so your hips are now onto the mat, into some side stretches. Once more, leaning over towards the left side and the right and the left and the right. And now we're going to reach for the right side. We're going to walk our hands all the way over towards the other side. Find our way up. And do the same thing over to the other side, reaching over towards the left, reaching your hands, little steps all the way around. And then slowly coming up. Bringing your knees together, come up into your tabletop position, into some cat-cows, dropping the belly to start, looking up, take a deep breath in. On your exhale, curve the spine, tuck the chin in. And again, drop the belly, look up. And then curving the spine. Sitting back onto your heels, come up onto your toes and reach for the sky. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower down. Come up onto your knees. Step your right foot forward. Come into your low lunge. Placing your hands onto the mat. Releasing your back toe. Just lifting your chest up. Coming up onto your back toes, placing both hands onto the mat, picking up that back knee and bringing the left arm up for a twist. Sink down a little bit further if you can. Lower the left hand down, drop the back knee, and then walk your hands backwards, picking up your left toes. Keep your hips square. So your front leg is straight. And then walking your hands forward, bending the front knee, come up into your runner's lunge, and then coming up into your crescent lunge. Nice and slow and controlled, bring your arms all the way up, bending the front knee, The back knee can be a little bit bent, or try to keep it straight. And then open up to center. Keep your toes pointed to the corners of your mat. Bring your hands to prayer. Goddess squat. Let's just do a little bit of pulses. Good. Reach your arms all the way up. Deep breath in. Float your hands all the way down. Keep your knees bent. And then come into our wide-legged forward fold. Let your head fall. Keeping your knees bent at all times. Really opening up the hips here. Maybe place both hands on your knees here. Swing from side to side. Come up onto your fingertips. Heel toe your feet just a little bit, and then bringing your hands to the other side. Come into your low lunge with your right foot forward this time. And placing your left hand down, find your toes, lifting up your back knee, and come into a twist, bringing the right arm up. Twisting towards the side wall. Good, and then lowering down, lower the back knee, walk your hands back for a half split, keeping your hips square. And walking your hands forward, bringing your foot down, come up to your toes, come into your runner's lunge, and then reaching up for your crescent lunge. Bending the front knee. Open up, goddess squat once more. Bring your hands to prayer. Little baby pulses. Bring your arms all the way up, and then floating them down. Heel toe your feet almost to the outer edges of your mat, and then sinking down for your malasana squat. Bring your chest forward. You're using your elbows to push your knees back. You can sit on a block or something if you feel like you're struggling in this pose. Good. Placing your hands down, straighten your legs. From here, we're going to go into our pyramid pose. So you can bring and pivot both toes to one side. Both legs are straight. Taking a deep breath in and out. And then melt down. From here, we're going to walk our fingertips or hands just a little bit more to the top of the mat as we pick up our back heel. So we're just coming up onto our toes and then lowering, focusing on keeping the hips square when we do this. Picking up the back heel and lower, lift and lower. Walking your hands to center while we pivot our feet, turning to the other side. Both toes pointed towards the top of your mat, letting your head fall down. Taking those nice, juicy breaths at your own pace. And then try to reach your hands, fingertips a little bit closer to the top of the mat, keeping your hips square. Go ahead and lift the back heel and lower. Lifting the back heel and lower. Bring your fingertips to the center and then heel toe your feet all the way together. We're going to start in our forward fold. Just walk it out to start. Then placing both hands down onto the mat, bending your knees, and then step back into your high plank position, holding your high plank. Squeezing your legs and your abs, your core. Keep holding. And then lower your knees, release your toes, and float yourself all the way down to your mat. Coming up into your Sphinx pose, have your fingertips towards the top of the mat, lifting your belly in, but pushing your thighs and your feet in towards the ground or your mat. Slowly lower down, lift up into your cobra, and lower. And again, so we're pushing our hands in towards the mat, keeping our elbows in, and lower, and lift. And then sinking our hips back, come up onto our knees into your child's pose. Rolling up into your tabletop position, flipping your toes, downward facing dog. First downward dog, you could bring your feet a little bit closer to the outer edge of your mat. You could reach your hands a little bit closer to the top of the mat. But we did a pretty good warm up so far, so this should feel really nice on the body. We're going to take 2 more breaths. Maybe closing your eyes. Good, and then rolling our body forward, coming back into your high plank position. On your knees or toes, we're going to chaturanga down. Upward dog. Holding our upward dog just for a moment. Shoulders away from your ears. And then lifting your hips high back into your downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up, 3-legged dog. Just a couple bounces. So you lift that leg up and then lower. Left leg goes up, couple little bounces and lower. Roll your body back into your high plank position. And then on your knees or toes, lower yourself all the way down to your mat. Bring your arms out to the side. I'm going to start by bending the right knee and carrying it all the way back. So we have our arms out to the side. And this is our scorpion, reaching back. You can just rest your head on the mat as you do this. You know, bring your arm all the way up as well. Try to have your flat foot back behind you. Good, dropping your hand down. If it's there, rolling back onto your belly. Lift up into baby cobra. Lifting up and lower. Lift up and lower. Switching sides. Bring your arms out. Bending the left knee, carrying it back. It's a really nice opener for the chest, for the shoulders. Bring your arm to the sky if you can. Open up your hips. And dropping your hand down, coming back onto your belly, lifting up to your upward facing dog. To downward facing dog. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Maybe letting our heels be heavy. Bringing our left leg all the way up, 3-legged dog. Bending the left knee, taking a moment to open up the hip a little bit further, letting both heels be heavy. Good, and stepping that left foot to the outside of your left hand into lizard. Dropping the back knee, release the toe. Bring your chest forward. You can come down onto your elbows or a block. Just try to keep your back nice and straight. Nice. Take the left foot, swing it back around, come back into your high plank position. Knees or toes, chaturanga down. Upward dog to downward facing dog. Left leg goes up, 3-legged dog. Bending the left knee, open up the hip. And then stepping it to the outside of your right hand this time. Just drop the back knee. Come into your own variation of lizard. So again, you could drop your elbows down. Or just stay up onto your hands, bringing your chest forward. Come up onto your back toes, lifting the back knee, taking the right foot, swinging it around to your high plank, and come into a flow. Chaturanga to upward dog to downward facing dog. From here, we're going to lift the heels, bend the knees, do a little jump or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway rise, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, rise to stand, reach up. Sitting down into your chair. Weight should be on your heels. Bring your arms out to cactus. And then come up onto your toes. Squeezing your knees together. Then lower down and lower your hands all the way down to your forward fold. Halfway lift. Lower down. Taking the right foot, step it back, bending the front knee. Crescent lunge. Open up warrior 2 and hold. Dropping the back hand, peaceful warrior, reach back. Cartwheel the arms, come back into your high plank position. Hold into your downward facing dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees, jump, hop, or step to the top. Halfway lift, forward fold. Picking up the left foot this time, sending it back, coming into your lunge, and then lifting up into your crescent lunge. Hold. Open up warrior 2. Dropping the back hand, flipping the front palm, peaceful warrior. reach back, bend the front knee, cartwheel the arms, flow it out. Taking the left foot or right foot back, knees or toes, chaturanga, upward dog to downward facing dog. We're gonna walk our feet to the center of the mat for our forward fold. Maybe grabbing onto your toes with your peace fingers, pulling your body in. And placing your hands down, bending all the way down to your mat. Come into a crisscross position just to start. We're gonna come in to the breath a little bit. This is our time where we can really just focus on what we desire and what we want, because we have silenced the mind. We have slowed down the busyness. Be still for a moment before we continue. Feel your heart. Good, and then bring your hands to center and then come all the way down onto your belly. You can rest your chin onto your hands, and we're going to bring our right leg out to the side. So we have it a 90-degree angle, and just hold this position. Bring your hands to the side, bringing the right or the left out. Now bringing the right knee out to the side. Good. Kicking that right leg back and bend your knees, go side to side. And then grabbing onto the tops of your feet, pulling your heels in towards your glutes. Good. Rolling over onto your back. Bring your knees in for a squeeze and rock from side to side. Let's do a little bit of core strength with a dead bug. So first go into your waterfall position. Take a couple moments just to move your ankles and your wrists, and then bending your knees. You can keep your hands up if you want to. We're going to extend the left leg out and right arm goes back. And switch. And switch. Switch. Let's try to bring our head up this time. Good. Pointing your toes up for waterfall. Reach for the ceiling here. Try to reach for your toes. Good, and then open up your legs wide for a straddle. Relax your head down. Taking your hands, bringing your knees down. And then bending your knees, come into your Supta Baddha Konasana, so we're having our toes and our heels touch. Good, and then placing your hands down by the side of your mat, and you're going to lift your hips up in this pose. So lift your hips off of the mat. Lift, lift, lift. And then lower your hips down. Extend your legs once more. Maybe rock from side to side. We're going to do that one more time, bending the knees. Have your toes and heels touch. Let your knees fall open. And then place your hands down onto the mat, lifting your hips up. You roll those shoulders. Squeeze the glutes. And then lower down. Extending the legs out straight. And then bring your legs up. A quick little happy baby, grabbing the outside of your feet. Maybe rocking from side to side. Maybe extending the legs, straightening the legs. And then having your feet find the mat, dropping both legs over to one side, to the right side. Let your arms fall. Focusing on your breath here. And then bring your knees back to center and let them both fall over towards the left side. Reaching your arms out to the side. And then reaching your arms over your head, extending your legs out for our final pose, our Shavasana. Get comfortable. Bring your arms up, your hands up into receiving mode, and let both feet fall from one side to the other. Closing your eyes, just enjoying this moment of peace, of calm, of clarity. If you want to stay here, you can. If you want to close the practice with me, just start making a fist, moving your fingers, open and close, open and close. Start to move your feet, move your wrists, move your ankles, move your legs. Start to awaken the body once more. Roll over to one side. Come up to a comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today for this beautiful class. I hope that it has brought you more centered, more calm, more peace. And I welcome this all into your life today and going forward. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.